Good day, everybody. Welcome back. Here's me. Here's Laura. Poke your head under there. Well, Laura is in my studio, and some of you may know that Laura came to Australia and is staying with me, and we actually haven't had a chance to do any art on our own. We did some, well, we've got Kathy Lane to do some art and teach us a few things, so stay tuned, to see that, because that will be on YouTube, possibly even before this one. So go back, if you haven't seen it, go back and have a look at it. So we decided to just do a pour where we're going to do a really simple piece, featuring like a beach scene, because Laura absolutely adores Australian beaches. So Laura is going to be using the powder pigments with the epoxy white, the angel white, and I will be using the epoxy paste. Sorry, what, did I say that right?
Pigments.
You'll be using pigment, powder pigments, and I will be using epoxy pastes. So same sort of theme, different materials. So using Mad Artist resin, and we've already got them mixed up. So let's go. Laura, what are you going to be using? You've already mixed it. Oh, you want some sticks?
I have Sapphire Blue pigment, which is available in the pigments, and it's also available in the paste. They're very similar in color. And I'm using the Peacock Green. And is this deep gold?
That is a deep gold, yes, powder.
Deep gold pigment.
Yep, powder pigment. So, I'm using the Deep Ocean Green, which is quite a deep green. And to it, I will actually tip some out and mix some of the... Actually, I won't. I don't want to confuse people, because we want to create sets of colors so that you guys can, especially for the newbies, it's going to be easier for you to to know what to purchase if you want to do a particular painting. So Deep Ocean Green is this one. It's a matte pigment, and then I've got the Apatite Blue, which is a metallic pigment, but it's a very soft metallic. So about 10% going in, and you can make it as transparent as you want, really. Excuse me. It's up to you. It's it's all about how you want your painting to end up looking. So
now this is the Sapphire Blue, and if you can see on the stick, you cannot see the stick through the color. So that's a good sign that it's opaque and not transparent. If you can see the popsicle stick through, then it's transparent.
All right. So I've mixed my Apatite Blue, which is a really gorgeous blue, with a little hint of green in it. So it's kind of a little bit like a peacock, but not quite. And then we're going to have some sand color. So I'm only using two. And between these two, when they mix together, that they're going to create like a teal color. So it'll be another shade. And over here I have a sand color, which I have created by just mixing a bit of the deep gold and a bit of white. So to show you how I did that, that is mixed together with the white paste, the powder and the paste, or rather the pigment and the paste mixed together. I added a little bit of binder because it was getting too thick and a little bit hard to mix. So, but this will keep now for a long time, but just for your sake, I might just mix up. I've got a bit too much of this. I might get rid of some of the resin, like that, because I've got too much. I don't want too much sand, if you know what I mean. So here's how I will mix the sand color. I will demonstrate to you now. Whoopsie, you got it. I'm going to get a little bit of white, because you've got to watch the ratios, So it doesn't really matter. The white is there just to tone down the metallic kind of shimmer, the luster of the gold, and also to tone down the gold itself and change it into a sandy color. So I'm just mixing a little bit of that white in here. So you can go the other way around if you want to put the gold in first and add white to taste. Of course, not the taste. Not literally, but to your liking. So here's the white. Now if I wanted to use that white, I would probably go a little bit, just a touch more of it if I wanted to use it as a white, because I would, I want it to be really opaque. So now I'm just going to add a bit of gold to it and just see, keep playing with it. Make sure that I've got, so I put a tiny little bit first, and once you get the hang of it, you will know. So that is mixing now nicely. If you are a real newbie, start off with the powder, with the pigment. Mix the pigment first with a little bit of resin, just to make sure that it's properly mixed, and then add more resin, and then add your white. So see, this is even deeper than this one. I'll show you the difference. So you can get different shades, and I actually do like this one because it's more of a yellowy. See, the other one's more pinky, so I actually like this shade, and I will keep it like that. Otherwise you can add more white or more gold. Play with it, don't be afraid, just be careful of the ratios. See, the pigments, you can add a lot, but the pastes, you have to be very, very careful. Sorry, was I talking too much?
No, just
you go ahead, your turn. I'll start. I need some of this one. I'll wipe my hands. I think great one for newbies. If you don't know how to mix resin, scroll down, or I might actually even put a link to a video, one of my videos. Have you got a video, like a tutorial for newbies on mixing resin and stuff?
No, not yet.
Alright, so I will attach in the description below maybe 1 or 2 videos where you can go to and learn how to mix it, and a few other tips. So I'm going to go up. Another thing, we're working on canvases. These are the deep edge canvases. They've already been primed, so we didn't need to prime them again, and we've taped the sides because we don't want the we don't want the resin flowing over, so that's the reason why we're doing that. I'm going to go with my green. You can use different combinations. This is just the combination that we are showing for people who are interested in just buying a couple of pigments and creating ocean scenes. So that probably looks pretty dark up there to you, but I'm not worried one bit, because it's all going to change. I always leave a little bit in the cup. So now that I've done that, I might just tilt it around a little bit, just to get it up to the edge, and then push it down a bit. And Laura, what are you doing?
Mine is the blue sapphire.
Okay, so you're starting with the blue. Oh, that's gorgeous. That's really gorgeous. Like when you look at the blue sapphire, when you look at the actual jar, it looks a little bit purple. And that's the way the pigment is, but look down here. It's stunning. Right, so you can see that my green, you can actually see it now getting more transparent as I moved it, because it was piled up on top. I will bring it a bit closer to you so you can see that? It's getting more transparent, which is wonderful. That's like in the distance. Now I'm going to pour my gorgeous Apatite Blue, and I'm just going to go around here and just continue down here. Is your cup getting warmer? Yeah, it just means that it's starting, the reaction is starting, because it was really warm here in the studio, and now I've got Now I've got the air conditioner on and everything's kind of going through a little bit of a shock, but we needed to cool it down. So now that I've done that, you can, like some people you will see, they'll go and torch it just to blow the bubbles. I don't worry about it until, you know, I'm done kind of and just want to blow them in the end. Because this is matte and this is metallic, you can really see the difference. So I want to take some of this metallic, and I could have poured it over the top of there. You can also do that. But I just want to blend it, and I love blending colours. And while I'm blending them like this, I will get a really nice teal. So you can even have it the other way around. That can be your bottom and this can be your top. So it's slightly different. Just, it's good to watch a couple of people do similar kind of, well, a same theme, but a different way of doing it, different technique. And my resin is getting quite thick, so I'm hurrying. Now I'm going to, wow, look at that, see that? That's gorgeous. I think I might heat it up a little bit now. So it's still not a really simple pour where you're just pouring and moving away from it and it's done. You're still, well, with my way, oh, that's gorgeous. I still like to get my hands in there, if you know what I mean. Now that I've done that, I want to add, see how I got a little bit of resin left? I want to add that to my green. And that's going to be real transparent now, and give it a mix. And then I'm going to add the whole thing to my blue. Now you will get a different shade. It all depends on how much you're left in the cup. You know, so either, whatever you get, if you get it more green or if you get it more blue, it'll be fine because it's a shallow water and you get them, it depends on where in the world you are, you get different colour shallow water. Some is more aqua, some more blue, some more green, you know. So now that I've done that, I will create kind of a teal colour. Right. Laura, do you want to say what you're doing?
No, I'm just
awfully quiet over there.
I'm just
Tell me to shut up.
I'm just working away here.
You're a hard little worker, you are. So I might just go down here a little bit with this shallow water. And I want to go up here as well because it's just going to add a little bit more. Now I'm going to need my, now I'm going to pour some of my, do you want some of my sand or you're good with your own? Because it's going to be the same. You've already made, you've got the gold there.
I had the gold and then I added a little bit of white.
Okay, so that's another different shade again. That's pretty cool. Right, so here we go. I'm just going to go all down here. See how thick that is? Now you can go straight. You can go up here a little bit. Where we were at the beach today, it's really cool because you've got the sand and then you've got the shallow water and then you're going up towards another sandy part. So it's actually pretty cool. So I'm kind of doing that. And actually, I don't even have enough for myself. So
And don't forget, you can always do a second layer if you want to
yeah.
change it up a little bit. I like to do that with water scenes because it kind of gives you some depth into the water.
Yeah, for sure. Look how thick it's getting. Don't be worried if it's, you know, it's better if it's not, if it doesn't thicken up quick like this. But you will soon learn that. Have the right temperature in your studio. What's up? Not enough? That's pretty cool. That's actually really nice. I like that. Right, so I've got that there. I'm gonna need my, excuse me, Laura. At your feet a little bit. So I've got my heat gun now. Tilt it a little bit, push it down a bit, and I am going to use my fingers. And you can stretch this, look at that. Same sort of theme, but completely different. You'll never get the same one. And you know, it all depends on whether you prefer to use pastes or pigments. I like both, but it depends on, you know, because all the colours are different, so it all depends. Now I will add a little bit. Where's my sticks? I want to add a little bit of clear. Because now I'm going to be adding my white. Have I even got my white ready? No, I don't, do I?
You don't?
No, I'll get it
you
ready
use
now.
mine?
Do you have a lot of it?
Oh, but I can always mix mine.
Oh, so I'll mix them now. It's all good. All good. Don't need a lot of white. I always tend to overdo it with the white. So clean stick every time. Do not double dip with resin. It's not a good thing. So now I want it quite opaque. So I'm making sure that it's right over there on your side. You can put it on, yeah. Okay, so I just wanted to say I'm going to add my white now, and before I do that, I just want to add some of this clear before I add the white, and I will spread this up a bit. It is hot, it's actually getting quite hot now. So now, I'm just going to go over with the clear a little bit, and then I'm going to put the white over the top of the clear, or even in front of the clear, and create some waves possibly. I've got a blob there. Like a wavy sort of thing right there. I don't have to go overboard with the white because it does spread. Okay, let's have a go now with the heat gun. I'll go behind you. Oh, okay. Sorry. Righto, I'm going to go full blast straight away. I'm just going to move that way a bit. Keep the heat gun over here. Okay, see, it's already selling up. It's doing its thing. I actually like what that's doing there.
You can clear and
No, I don't think I want to. I've got a little bit of clear. Why have you got too much of it?
No?
A little bit. Just want to have a little bit more white down here, maybe. And I've got a bit more this one, just to give it a little bit of something interesting. Just because I had a blob there, so I'm trying to fix it. And I'm dragging that over. Drag that one over there too. Go with the white again down here. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that down there. I don't want to do too much to it. I might just pull a little bit of white across there after. But for now, I'm just going to do a couple of waves across here. And then I'm just going to follow that line, which I'm going to make it a little bit thicker. And do a white over there. I like going from my, so move this that way a bit. That. Do it here again. A little bit up here. Like my ocean is going to be quite wavy. Sometimes I just keep going because I want to use up stuff. I don't like wasting things. So now you can see where that white, that clear went, because it falls straight through and you can see it there. And I'm just going to go and follow that line. It just helps with movement of the, of the white. With the cells and everything. Some bits can be a little bit thicker. It's going to just give you an illusion of a wave being there. That already there looks like it could be a wave. Like a crashing sort of wave. Same as this one here. And I think that's it. I don't want to mess with it too much. I just want to fix this bit. Now what are you doing, Laura?
A little bit of your epoxy white.
Oh, yeah, there you go. You take them. Right, so I'm nearly done. Just gonna blow this one. Snacking. Sorry. Maybe I managed to leak. Oh yeah, I was doing that over it. Right. Okay, so while Laura is adding her white, the angel white, creating some awesome waves, it appeared that well, it felt like I finished my painting, so I was around fiddling and looking for, you know, some molds and things, because we had some resin left over that I didn't want to waste. It's always good to have a mold handy. Yeah, I just further down the track, I actually go back to my painting and do something completely different with it. But at this stage, Laurie's adding some white, and her painting is actually looking quite amazing. So now she's just starting with a bit of blow action with the heat gun, and she starts with the lower setting, and then she speeds it up a little bit just to give it extra force and move those move the white around and create those awesome cells. And I just torched mine just to blow out the bubbles. So I'm just tilting mine a little bit, and at this stage I'm really not happy with mine. Laura said she liked it, but it just didn't seem right, so I'm torching it a little bit. And Laura is adding some more of that angel white and really building her waves. It looks quite beautiful, that sapphire blue and the iridescent jade and that sand mix. They just work together very well. So she's just torching it again, not torching, sorry, using the heat gun to move the white and create more cells and lacing. Works really well. And I was just telling her the difference between mine and hers. Mine looked like a bit of a night scene, and hers looks like a morning ocean scene. It's quite interesting. So I decided to torch the heck out of my painting and move that white. You know, I really don't worry about anything that I do with my resin, because I know that there's always another layer that you can add to it. But I really, at this stage, I'm just thinking about doing a completely different theme and embellishing the rest of the painting. Continuing on. So, because this video dragged on for quite some time, this is why I'm doing that, you know, speeding up and doing the narration. So Laura is still continuing with her white, and her painting is looking absolutely gorgeous. And I've decided to add a little bit more white because I didn't like my painting. It just, I didn't see it as, you know, what I would expect it to turn out like. And this is probably because I'm really not a pouring artist. I do, you know, create pouring art to show people what to do and how to do it and how to put the colors together, but I'm really more of a conceptual artist. So I like to create something that, you know, I don't really try to make it conceptual, but it always turns out as a concept that I'm trying to portray in my artwork. And I think it's probably the stage that I've been in for quite some time, so that's why I'm fiddling with this, and then you'll see what happens in a minute, you know, when I decide to just swipe everything with my hand, as I was getting an idea and a vision of what I want to put in there to embellish this painting. So for that, you will have to watch my next video, which will show you what I do with it next. So this is where I start to swipe around and just blend those colors a little bit with my hand. And I know some of you would be saying, no, don't do it, it looks good, but it's not what I want out of my piece. I want to create something with it. My hands get involved without me even thinking about it, and I think that's the best way to be. And Laura is just adding some more white and building it up and doing a really good job, because look at those colors, how they all work together. It's just amazing. I love it. Love her piece. Love it as a boring piece. It's just wonderful. Lovely. So now I'm just really hitting it with some heat, and the resin is already quite hot and setting. And by doing this, I've created some cells, not too many, because I did not want too many cells for this piece, just enough. And that's all I'm doing here, blending those colors further.
It was really hard to decide between all these shells that I have which ones to put on the beach. And I still haven't decided, so we're just going to go with it.
Okay, so I'm speeding up this part because we had a little bit of an issue placing these shells onto almost dry resin. So Laura had to reheat it a little bit just to soften it a tiny bit and stick those pieces in, and most of them stuck. And later on we just added a little bit more of the clear to just seal them all in, and then it worked out well. But it looks gorgeous, doesn't it? Look at that. Look at those white swirly waves. I really love Laura's piece. It's gorgeous.
Well, we think this is how it's going to end up. We're going to put another clear coat over it. And who knows, we might add a few more. You never know. Don't look at all the little imperfections, because it's going to get a clear coat.
Okie dokie, so we are back. This is the next day. So they're all set up. You can see I started with one design and I decided to do something else with it. Laura's looking awesome. She's got some really nice shells in hers. So now she sanded the sides as I did the edges, because the resin was kind of lifting up where the tape goes, and that's usually what happens. So we sanded it down so it's nice and smooth. I'm going to do something different with my my piece. I decided that I want to do an underwater scene. I actually pulled out some resin out of a cup while it was still very sticky, and this is what I got, and it really reminds me of like a jellyfish. It's so kind of fat and it's got all these bubbles inside. It looks perfect for that. So I'll probably snap it off here and place it somewhere, build the background first, and then add a few bits and pieces and some shells, some gorgeous shells that we kind of found on the beach here nearby. So that's what I'll do. But Laura's pretty happy with hers and looks great. So she's just now painting the sides with like a Viva Blue, which is a metallic, and she can do that because she's got metallic all through her painting, so it won't look odd. But I can't do it mine because mine are all matte colors. So I will just paint. I've got already some colors ready here to mix and to match with my epoxies. So I'll have green going down here and then following it with the blue and stuff, and that'll probably change later because I will be adding some actually I probably won't even do that. I will leave it until I'm done with my design, and then I'll do the sides to complement the picture, to make it surround, or I will do the whole thing in one solid colour. You can do either or. So that's all we're doing. Now look what you've done. Oh, here, I'll give you a... That's alright, these things happen. I bet you did that purposely just to show what not to do, right? Here, you want to use that? Oh, that's all dried up. It's nearly...
It'll be fine.
There you go. Let me help. It's not even coming off.
Oh, you got more on it.
Oh my God. I try to help, honestly. Now I'll do it this way now. Here we go.
Yeah, it's nice.
Lovely. Just looks like a bit of a puddle there in the sand. So that's it. The next stage for Laura will be putting a clear coat over, just to seal in those the shells, and you know, and give them a nice finish. That's right. And maybe you'll pop in a few more in there, and to just finish off the painting and have it nicely sealed. And then she's going to let it flow over this pretty blue to seal that in as well. I will do another video where I will continue embellishing this piece, because I just got inspired, and that's what happens when you start with one thing and something happens, and then yeah, I've got this thing which just looks like a jellyfish. It's so cool. I'll just give you a close-up of it so you can see. Look at that, how cool is that? It's pretty flat on the other side, because I had it sitting like that when I pulled it out, and it's still stuck to my stick, which I will sort that out later. And it's got tentacles and everything. Cool. So that's it. I reckon we'll wrap it up there, and we'll show you some photos of the end product for Laura's gorgeous piece at the end of this video. And like I said, mine, I will do another video and continuing with that. So that's it from us for now. Bye.
I said bye.